Well, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Kind of a miserable rainy day here in Northern Illinois. So today I wanted to talk about the latest software update, which isn't the version 10. Version 10 I got about a week or so back. I'm still kind of working my way through all of the features and my take on it. But I'm talking about the software update I just received last night, which is a supplement to version 10. It is update 32.12.1. So most people are at 32.11.1, and it's hard to tell exactly what was given in this update. The release notes I got were just the same release notes as version 10, explaining all the video capabilities and smart summon and those different things. But I have noticed a couple specific things. One change with this 32.12.1 is the frequency of autopilot nag. So we'll go ahead and put it in autopilot. Now bear in mind, normally autopilot's only supposed to be on the expressway and only with a hand on the wheel. But I want to illustrate something for you here, that I'm not on the expressway. I'm on a 55 mile per hour back road, but it's a 2-lane road without really hardly any intersections and that. But I just want to show you something. Before version 10, I got a nag about every 45 seconds to a minute. So there's the first nag. And then once I got version 10, that instantly changed to every 15 to 20 seconds. It got ridiculous. It was to the point where it was just about useless. And I know that you're supposed to have your hand on the wheel. I get it. But let's face it. When I first got autopilot, and I have enhanced autopilot, I don't have standard autopilot, I don't have full self-driving. I'm one of those weird in-between people that has enhanced autopilot. When I first got enhanced autopilot, I could go for a couple of minutes straight without touching the wheel. Well, then every software update since then, or so it seems, the nags have become more and more frequent. And when I got version 10, all of a sudden it was every 15 or 20 seconds I was getting a nag. Well, that was version 10 software, but with the revision 32.11.1. This current revision of 32.12.1, there's a couple things I've noticed. One of the things right off the bat is, we've been talking about the nag. It is now, the frequency of the nag is much more dynamic. I've had it nag me within less than 10 seconds after touching the wheel, and I've had it go for almost 2 straight minutes without asking me to do anything. But it seems to be, on average, on the expressway, on the interstate, about 45 seconds to a minute. On back roads like this, it's between 30 and 45 seconds. And you can look at the timestamp on this video. I'm not going to edit this portion of the video at all, so you can go ahead and look at the times I've touched the wheel to see how frequently the nag is. So there's another one. It was just pretty quickly thereafter, but you never know, this next one might be over 60 seconds. It's become much more dynamic. Also, it used to be that if it told me, if I went past a turn lane, and I just did, it would always dart into the turn lane and then back, and then it would tell me to apply pressure. Now, we just went past a turn lane. It didn't dart in, but it did tell me to give slight pressure on the wheel. It is less sensitive to swerve into turn lanes than it used to be. And again, that nag is more dynamic. On the expressway, it barely nags at all. I mean, it is far less frequent. But the more traffic I'm in, like the more traffic in the other lane, and the more cars there are in front and behind me, the more often it will give me the nag at this point. So it's doing it very frequently at this point because of the road that I'm on. But I was just on the expressway, and I was clocking it at 1 minute and 45 seconds between each time if it was smooth sailing without any big chaos going on around me. So again, much more dynamic. A few people on the Tesla forum that I was reading last night that had gotten the update and went for a drive right away had mentioned that the car isn't super sensitive to being right in the center of the lane and then therefore being strange and darting, that the car feels much more comfortable to sort of ease to one side of the lane or the other depending on what it feels is best. And it's more fluid in its motion. It's not, the wheel isn't so jerky. So that's just my take on it. But these are the things that I've noticed. So it is it's interesting. Also, I'll say this, that it used to be that if I had a hand on the wheel, the car really wanted to fight my hand on the wheel and do what it wanted to do. Now with my hand on the wheel, there's less wheel fighting of my hand. It's almost as though autopilot is taking my word for it of where I want the car to be in the lane without jumping out of autopilot so easily. So that's my take on it. I don't know if that's legit. It could be just, it could be my perception is off. I don't know, but that's what I've noticed is when I first got version 10, but on 32.11.1, I was getting nags all the time. It got to the point that I didn't even want to use autopilot. It was ridiculous. It was darting in and out of turn lanes, and it was oversensitive. And since this correction, 32.12.1, autopilot is much more stable, I guess. It's much more like it was when I first got autopilot, which is a good thing because it seemed like every revision since then had made autopilot more sketchy and less usable for some reason, and I don't know why that is. So anyway, that's just my take on it. You guys in the comment section can tell me I'm nuts, that you've had the opposite experience, but that's my experience at this point. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know. But other than that, have yourselves a great day. Hey guys, what you just watched, I filmed a couple of hours ago, but there's something else that I forgot to mention that I've been noticing. Autopilot now seems to handle corners a whole lot better. Now again, autopilot, as I mentioned earlier, is intended for the expressway, but on surface streets, you have the occasional tight corner, and it used to be that, at least my experience, was that autopilot would either take corners too fast and then swing too wide, or would like slam on the brakes when it realized it was a tight corner and then take it way too slow. But what I'm finding now is that autopilot is much more, much smoother to enter corners. It's much, or at least in my experience, it is better at slowing down a little bit for a corner, sweeping through it gradually, and then accelerating gradually out of the corner than it used to be. So just something else that I wanted to throw out there. Basically, autopilot is driving more like a regular driver now. It's not drastic, but it is noticeable. So anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.